This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome to you on this fabulous Friday. I'm Rebecca Smith.
It is just that, and I'm Bill Bryant, and we are glad you're with us. The weekend is almost here, everybody.
It is almost here. That is a really nice thought, isn't it? It's going to be hot.
You got
so
that right.
Prepare for that, right? Have a body of water close by if you can. Now at 6 a.m., boxing legend Muhammad Ali will take one more ride through his hometown before he is laid to rest. WKYT's Mike Byers live in Louisville looking ahead to today's service.
We'll have full coverage throughout the day of that, and we're also tracking a string of robberies that happened overnight here in Lexington. We'll have the latest details from police coming up in just a moment.
And some lane changes are in store for a busy Lexington road. How that could impact your morning commute. You'll want to know all about this straight ahead.
We're in the 50s and 60s early this morning. It's really not a bad start to the day. We get into your afternoon, it'll be much warmer, 88 degrees in the forecast with a small chance of rain. Not everybody will see that. I'm going to show you exactly where I expect maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder and those 90s for the weekend. That's coming up.
Micah, thank you, and let's get right to the news this morning. It is a somber day for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Boxing legend and cultural icon Muhammad Ali will make one more trip through his hometown of Louisville this morning. A
very important commemoration, and many will gather for a memorial service in his honor today. WKYT's Mike Byers is live in Louisville among the crowds, going over how the city will honor the greatest one more time.
Good morning, Rebecca. Yes, many of those people will be gathering for his memorial service, but many of them will post up here at the Muhammad Ali Center. It's one of many locations of the procession will pass with the body of the three-time heavyweight champion. Now, the procession is expected to begin at 9 this morning. It'll make its way through the streets of his hometown of Louisville, passing places like the Ali Center and his boyhood home on Grand Avenue. The procession will come to an end at Cave Hill Cemetery, where Ali will be laid to rest. A public memorial service will follow at 2 this afternoon at the KFC Yum Center. Tickets for the memorial were given out for free and quickly ran out Wednesday. Ali's longtime friend and former president Bill Clinton will eulogize the champ. Other notables taking part in the eulogy are Billy Crystal and Bryant Gumbel. Now, if you can't make it out to Louisville today, we have you covered. We'll have a live stream of the memorial on WKYT, on WKYT.com, and our mobile news app beginning at 2 o'clock. Live in Louisville, Mike Byers, WKYT.
We'll remind you of a special report from WKYT News live on air as well at 2 o'clock this afternoon with the Ali funeral service. Thousands gathered for the Islamic prayer service held to honor Ali. Among those who attended were the likes of the Reverend Jesse Jackson and boxing legendary promoter Don King. The service is a Muslim tradition. It asks for forgiveness and entry into heaven. But people of all faiths attended.
Well, the Kentucky Theater will honor Muhammad Ali tonight with a showing of the 1996 documentary, When We Were Kings. It's about the Rumble in the Jungle heavyweight championship between Ali and George Foreman back in 1974. The showings of When We Were Kings will be at 9:40 tonight. Tickets, $6 each.
6:03 now on WKYT This Morning, and shifting gears for the second time in less than a week, a handful of armed robberies took place overnight. This time, 3 gas stations were all hit within an hour of each other this morning. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is at our alert desk with the latest from Lexington Police. Michelle.
Yeah, and Bill, police can't say it was the same person in the robberies, but the suspect fits the same description in all 3 overnight robberies. All took place within an hour of one another between 12 o'clock and 12:45 early this morning, and they were all in close proximity of one another. Take a look at this map. The first robbery happened at the Shell on Nicholasville Road. Then a marathon on Clays Mill Road was robbed, followed by a robbery at the Speedway on Boston Road. Now, in all 3 robberies, the suspect is a man wearing all black, a black hoodie, bandana, and dark pants. He entered each store with a gun, demanded and got money, ran out and drove off in a dark SUV. So with all this information, the robberies are believed to be connected. But like I said before, police cannot positively say that is the case. And as you mentioned, Bill, this is the second time this week Lexington police have had to deal with multiple robberies in a short time frame. If you remember earlier this week, a police chase resulted in 3 men being arrested in connection to a spree of robberies on Monday. Bill?
Right, a trend I'm sure the police are eager to end. Thank you very much, Michelle. A man shot near the University of Kentucky campus remains in serious condition this morning. Lexington police say the man was walking with a woman on East Maxwell Street early yesterday morning when someone shot him in the head. Witnesses say the shooter ran off before police could get there. And at this time, no arrests have been made. Investigators believe the shooting was a random act of violence.
Sentencing is expected today for a Marine and his son, who are both charged with stealing thousands of dollars from a Central Kentucky Toys for Tots program. Rusty Gaines and his son Josh are charged with stealing more than $40,000 from the State Marine Corps League in Franklin and Anderson counties. Rusty was the former treasurer for the league and oversaw funding from 2012 to 2014. During that time, investigators say the father-son duo opened credit cards and racked up purchases with money intended for the league's children's programs. Today's sentencing is scheduled for 10:30 in the morning. Well, sentencing is also expected in a case against a Lexington mother charged in connection to her child's death. Dia Adams is charged with the death of her son, Joseph, back in 2011. Investigators say the boy died from a lethal dose of vinegar. Adams accepted a plea deal last month, amending her charge to criminal abuse. She faces up to a year in prison.
The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet wants drivers to be aware of some coming lane changes. Heads up on this. It will be coming to a busy Lexington intersection. Construction continues on the Summit at Fritz Farm development. That's near the intersection of Man o' War and Nicholasville Road. And from now until late October, there's only one left turn lane from Nicholasville Road to Man o' War in both directions. Now, as part of the new development, transportation officials say there will be 2 left turn lanes in both directions.
The Bluegrass Music Festival continues today at the Kentucky Horse Park. The music starts this afternoon at 1 o'clock at the campgrounds, and the last act starts at 11 tonight. Acts like True Life Travelers and the Blue Mafia will play. Other activities will take place at the pavilion, including a pluck and strum and clogging. Pluck and strum. I've never heard of that, so you'll have to explain it to me. Tickets for today cost $50. Kids 12 and under are free.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Such a good-looking start to the day once again. I'm not seeing much of a change look-wise outside early this morning as we have another nice sunrise in store. Now, temperature-wise, it's a little bit different. It's about 5 to 10 degrees higher than what we are experiencing the past couple of days. It's really not a bad look. And as you go through your day, we'll start off 50s and 60s. We'll finish off right around 88 degrees. I don't want you to forget so many of these events going on, but the hog rally going on here in Lexington out at the Man o' War Harley-Davidson, over 1,000 motorcycles from 23 states, and that goes through tomorrow too. So just keep that in mind. Just be vigilant about seeing all these bikes around. Just take it easy there on the highways and byways for them. That's a big event. Another big event going on, Fort Herod Beef Festival. You guys won't have a chance of rain today, but I'll tell you this, you will be sweating out there. It's going to be very steamy, very warm. That kicks off the day and goes through Saturday there in Harrodsburg. And so any events going on, just know this, you'll stay mainly dry. Most of us will be dry. If you are going to see a rain chance, I've highlighted an area. This is probably when you want to look at the screen real quick. This is the area that I expect a small chance of rain. Not everybody will see that, but the best chance is going to be I-64 northbound. And still, that's only 20 to 30%. So that's still not even a great chance there. So if you're in northern Kentucky, just know you'll have a small chance at a couple of rumbles of thunder. Right around noontime is probably your best bet. Lake Cumberland, if you're heading out to any lakes, Cave Run, you work your way southbound into Laurel Lake, this is the forecast that you can go by. 88 degrees today, and you'll stay mostly dry. I'm not really seeing a good chance of rain the farther south you are. And then we head towards your Saturday at 91. The heat is on, no doubt about it. That stays through Sunday. Sunday, there's a storm or two. We just can't rule it out. But the Lake Cumberland 360, a big event going on Saturday. You'll need the sunscreen. You will need the water. Whether you're jumping in or not, you'll still need to be really knocking out those water bottles. So just keep in mind, it's going to be very warm this weekend, guys. But you know what? It's much better, like you said, than the winter time when we were dealing with. I put on my Facebook page and Twitter page, Micah Harris WX, you can check that out. But I put on there yesterday in Mount Washington, New Hampshire, it was 24 degrees, 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and snow on the ground. So we're doing okay.
See, there's perspective.
We're
for
doing
it.
okay.
Right.
all
Remember
I like
when we
that.
were
They can have
freezing?
that.
Yeah, absolutely. One more thing. If you go to the Beer Cheese Festival in Winchester tomorrow, a lot of folks will do that.
Yeah.
Get your beer cheese the last thing out before you leave, right?
That is a smart idea. That's experience right
Don't
there.
want it to melt.
Yeah, there you go.
6:09, our time this morning.
You know, you don't mess around when it comes to beer cheese, okay?
Yeah,
so
right,
I
right.
totally get what you're coming from
Yep.
on that. Each morning we bring you weather and traffic. Here's a look at what is happening.
Let's see what's happening early on this Friday as folks get in there and get it done and get to the weekend. Here is the Urban County Government's live camera taking a look at Limestone and East Maxwell this morning. And as you see, folks are moving along there in that location between the campus area and downtown. No reports of any trouble, but now police have cleared a minor accident that had blocked the intersection there temporarily just a little bit ago. They have cleared the scene. Everything back to normal. It looks good, you know? Looks like a nice start to the day.
Yep, we've got more news on the way.
Hope you keep it here in just a moment. A lot more.
A deputy was shot just outside Cincinnati last night. Details on the person police say is responsible after the break.
Good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT this morning, live on the air at 6:14 on your Friday. The campaign for the White House is heating up as Hillary Clinton has now picked up several key endorsements.
Yeah, now the Democrats turn their sights to Donald Trump, of course. Hannah Daniels has the latest on the campaign from New York.
Leading Democrats are endorsing Hillary Clinton's run for the White House, including President Obama, who threw his support behind his former Secretary of State.
Look, I know how hard this job can be. That's why I know Hillary will be so good at it. In fact, I don't think there's ever been someone so qualified to hold this office.
Donald Trump wasted no time going after his likely opponent, tweeting, "Obama just endorsed crooked Hillary. He wants 4 more years of Obama, but nobody else does." The Clinton campaign tweeted back, telling Trump to delete his account, but the attacks did not end on social media. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren laid into the presumptive GOP nominee during a speech to the American Constitution Society.
Donald Trump is a loud, nasty, thin-skinned fraud who has never risked anything for anyone and who serves no one but himself.
Vice President Joe Biden also delivered a blistering condemnation of Trump's repeated public criticism of a federal judge.
Undercutting the legitimacy of a judge by suggesting that because of his heritage, he's incapable of being fair. In addition to this, it is racist.
President Obama's first campaign appearance with Clinton will be in Green Bay, Wisconsin next week. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Donald Trump will kick off a heavy week of campaigning today with a speech in Washington, D.C. and then rally in Richmond, Virginia.
Just into our newsroom here at WKYT, we are learning that authorities have identified the suspect responsible for shooting 2 people, including a deputy sheriff, just outside of Cincinnati. Police say they are looking for 19-year-old Mohammed Longhow. They also say that Longhow shot a female deputy and another man outside an apartment complex in the community of Deerfield Township. Again, that's in southwestern Ohio. Both of those have been taken to the hospital. Their injuries unknown at this moment. We'll continue to gather details on this story.
The House of Representatives has passed legislation to help Puerto Rico with its financial crisis. The country is due to make a $2 billion debt payment in just more than 3 weeks. By a vote of 297 to 127, lawmakers voted to create a financial control board and allow restructuring of some of Puerto Rico's $70 billion debt. The measure now heads to the Senate. A 6.1 magnitude earthquake shook the northwestern coast of Nicaragua. The USGS says the quake was strongly felt in the country's capital. A newspaper there reports that the walls of a church collapsed in a city closest to the epicenter. So far, there have been no reports of any casualties.
Time this morning is 6:17 here on WKYT. A Kentucky filmmaker has filed a federal lawsuit against Beyonce, claiming the singer stole ideas from his short film to use in her new music video, Lemonade. Matthew Folks of Louisville is claiming a senior vice president at Columbia Recording Corporation had been sent a link to his film months before Lemonade debuted. Columbia, Sony Music, and Beyonce's management company are also named in that lawsuit. For the first time since the 90s, the world's highest paid athlete plays a team sport. Portuguese soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo made $88 million last year. That's according to Forbes. Argentine footballer Lionel Messi made $81 million, by the way, followed by LeBron James in this country with $77 million. Tiger Woods and boxer Floyd Mayweather held the top spot for each of the last 15 years. Well, Disney will start making films in China within the next year. The movies will be co-produced with a state-owned Chinese company, helping them avoid restrictions on foreign-made films. China is on track to be the world's largest movie market by next year. And Nashville tops a list of places with surging job numbers, specifically the suburbs south of the city, where Verizon and Nissan helped employment jump 6.8% in little more than a year. That's according to a new government report. Utah, a tech sub near BYU, saw the second biggest jump, and it was followed by Loudoun County, Virginia, a Washington suburb with lots of government jobs there. So that's where some of the jobs are these days. Well, Tinder is blocking kids from using the dating app. Since its founding back in 2012, Tinder has allowed users aged 13 to 17 to use its app for matches within their age group. But next week, Tinder is going to be closing down its app for users under the age of 18. A Tinder spokeswoman said they have the responsibility of constantly assessing different user experiences. So a change there.
All right, 6:19 is the time on your Friday morning. Good news, the weekend is in sight. WKYT this morning just getting started. An excited contest on a dance show nails her performance. A contestant there, but it's what happened afterward that has everyone talking.
We have a couple of rumbles to the north of us. Are we going to be seeing these actually make their way into the state of Kentucky? And also, what about that heat wave? We'll talk about that coming up next.
Welcome back. It is 6:23. Hope you're having a fabulous start to your Friday.
Early on your Friday morning. Yeah, get it done today. Get to that weekend, right?
Yeah, it is there, and we love it. Well, a string of overnight armed robberies under investigation this morning.
Right, and that's what's trending at this hour. Lexington police say 3 gas stations were hit all within 1 hour of each other. A similar spree of robberies occurred earlier this week. No arrests have been made in last night's robberies, the ones that have happened this morning. Police believe all 3, though, may be connected. A similar description at each location.
A final funeral service for Muhammad Ali will be held at the KFC Yum Center in Louisville today. Thousands will be in attendance to honor the legendary boxer. You can watch the service live on WKYT or on WKYT.com.
Again, that special report beginning at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It is a wonderful start to the morning out there. It's going to be hot, though, as we get into the weekend. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, another good-looking start to the day. Live sky camera. There is your look, about 50 feet up, and that's our good vantage point as we're looking due east. Most locations are sitting with mostly sunny skies. We're at 60 degrees now in Lexington, 55 in Danville. Go into Bradfordsville, go back towards, say, Loretto, and also holding on to places like Lebanon and Marion County. Taylor County, and then work your way into Russell County. Still have the fair going on today, off into your weekend. And the better likelihood of getting out there early, or the better opportunity is to get out there early, because once you get deep into the day, then it gets pretty warm. We're 54 now in Mount Sterling, and then go down into Camargo and also Jeffersonville. It's a pleasant start. In toward the afternoon, that's not going to feel that pleasant. 88 degrees. There will be most of these chances of rain is mostly northbound. I would say Cynthiana, Williamstown, go off into Mount Olivet, Maysville. Those areas have the better likelihood of actually picking up rain than anybody else, but still there is only 20–30%. So it just shows you anywhere from noontime to about 5 p.m. heads up with possibly, guys, a rumble of thunder. The focus of the forecast, though, is about that heat. I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to show you another chance at rain later on this weekend coming up.
Okay, and we'll see you in just a bit with that. Thank you. 6:25 is our time this morning. All right, if you're having breakfast, you get a little queasy, close your ears right now. We're going to tell you a little story here.
Good morning.
12-year-old Tahani Anderson absolutely crushed her audition for Fox's So You Think You Can Dance, but it's what happened after her performance that's turning some heads and some stomachs.
All right, here are the appetizing details as the panel raised praise upon Tahani, who did advance to the next round. Celebrity judge Paula Abdul goes on to give her a hug, and that's when this happens. The little girl throws up right there on Paula. Oh, man. Abdul was surprisingly calm about the whole thing. Tahani said she wasn't sick, but Abdul simply squeezed the happiness out of her.
I'm sure she understood.
Well, you know, nerves can be tough for even an adult. So,
exactly.
You know,
it's
understandable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. Well, this next story will settle your stomach, I guess, and warm your heart.
Right. A boy in Louisiana was caught on a homeowner's security camera running up to sneak a hug of their dog. Oh. The owner posted this adorable video on Facebook trying to figure out who the kid was. It turns out it's their neighbor's son whose own dog died last year. Oh. The little boy now has the owner's permission to stop by for a little puppy love just any time he wants. The family has since posted a few selfies of the boy with his new best buddy. So they are good friends.
That is so sweet.
It really is.
Almost brings a tear to the eye.
Yeah.
If I was awake enough to cry. Still getting that coffee.
Getting going. All right. Good to have you with us as you get in gear on your Friday morning. Get ready to go. WKYT This Morning live with all the latest.
Well, a growing petition is calling for a controversial statue in the state capitol to be replaced with the great one. Why it might be unlikely to happen at 6:30.
All of our top stories are on the way, and tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $280 million, and tomorrow night's Powerball jackpot is $141 million. Keep it here on WKYT This Morning.